thought process that she could not figure out how she would get down from the 16th floor. And every day I went to visit with her, she would ask, how are we going to get out of here? How are we going to get away from this floor? And I tried to explain to her that we could use the elevator or we could take the stairs. But somehow she couldn't process it because in her mind, she was trapped. That's a metaphor for this little message this morning. Have you ever felt trapped? Have you ever felt like you were at the end of your rope? If you felt like you were trapped or at the end of your rope, realism says, tie a knot in it and hold on. Pessimism says you might as well let go because it's going to get worse. Optimism says just tie another knot and keep climbing. Each disposition holds some merit, but often at the end of your rope, there's a long drop between you and the ground. Somebody here this morning is holding it together while falling apart. Problems with your children. You raised them the best you could. You brought them up in church in the fear and the admonition of God, and they walked away from how they were raised. You're holding it together while falling apart. Nobody wants their marriage to end in divorce. No one wants to be a poster child for a broken marriage. But it happens that situations come in our lives to tear and rip apart what we thought would last forever. Holding it together while falling apart. Problems at your job, and you know you need to work. You hate Monday is coming because you've got to go to meet those people and deal with a supervisor who's trying all they know how to make you quit. Co-workers that you can't stand. Obligations that you know you have, and a job that you know you hate, but you're holding it together while falling apart. Sometimes there's too much muss for your money. Holding it together while falling apart. The death of a loved one, heartbreak, shattered dreams, hopes that have been dashed. I can't tell you how many Sunday mornings I've been holding it together while falling apart.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? If so, you need to stop now and immediately call an...
The burden, the stress, the pressure that weighs on the man of God. I preach to you. I counsel with you. I stand with you. But there are times I need somebody to stand with me. I need somebody just for me to lean on, to hold on to tell me that tomorrow is going to be a better day. Holding it together while falling apart. My sister, again, Gwen, who was closer to me than my other siblings, took care of me, bathed me, made sure I had everything I needed. At my anniversary, the second Sunday in February, the last conversation she had on Monday at 12:30 was with me. 1:30, her daughter-in-law called and told me they couldn't get a pulse. She died, dropped dead. 39 days later, my brother Ray, who was at her funeral, helping Johnny and I to lower her casket, I heard him say to her, "I'll see you soon." He died 39 days later. I stood up at his funeral to preach, and people thought how strong I was, but I was holding it together while falling apart. Somebody's in here this morning smiling to keep from crying. I wish I had somebody to help me preach. You look good on the outside. You have a public presence, but some private pain. Holding it together while falling apart. But I've got some good news for you this morning. God knows our problems. I said, God knows our problems. God knows. Not only does he know, but the choir just told us he cares. He knows. He knows how much you can bear. He'll never put on you what you're not able to bear. If God brought you to it, God will bring you through it. He may not come when you want him. Have I got a witness here? But if you keep on believing, if you just hang on, he'll show up right on time. The Jewish historian Josephus reports that this woman was the widow of Obadiah, the Lord Chamberlain of King Ahab. While her husband lived, she was nourished in the lap of luxury. But when he died, she was reduced to the utmost poverty. The world that smiled on her in the days of her prosperity now frown on her because she's broke. She was up there. Now she's down here. While her husband lived, she was always full, had everything she needed. All her needs were provided. She had a friend, she had a lover, she had a protector, she had a provider. Everything she needed was in her lap. And now he's dead. And she's got some problems. She's got a burden in her heart. She has boys on her hands. And she's got barrenness in her home. Burden in her heart because her